Today we are at the preview event of Kia EVP. Kia's new electric car lineup has been added as expected. Existing EV3, EV6, EV9, the first model to be released was EV6. What if the EV6 introduced a very challenging design, but the EV9 and EV3 were electric cars that focused on practicality in the form of SUVs? Now, the EV Pogo and then the EV6 can be seen as an electric car with a little more strength in style, right? Especially when you actually face it. Then when you look at it in photos, you can see a lot of challenging attempts in the details of this design. Particularly the side roofline showed a really nice look. First of all, the contagious design of the vehicle you are looking at now is the GT line model. What is the regular model and GT line model? Front design and peripheral design. It shows a little bit of difference. The bitline model shows the shape of a green hub that seems to be cut vertically like this. Along with this smooth bonnet shape, the vertical headlamp design will also attract attention. And on the side, now the GT line and the general model have different wheel designs. Cheonggyeonggun is located in front of Seoso. Now if you look to the side, it has a similar loop line to the EV3, but also it shows this character line that also shows the characteristics extracted from EV. In particular, this one shows a very unique design. It will be characteristic that these materials are more floating in the contact part where they meet the loop, showing a dynamic appearance. In particular, the rear lamp also extends quite deeply to this aspect. Even when viewed from behind, the presence of real lamps is also significant from this aspect. It seems that this design has been seen quite a bit in Kia design lately. Now if you look at the back, there's no separate wiper on the glass side. Through the wind that continues from this loop, the upper part is now in the form of removing the waterway in the rear glass. In fact, we applied this form first and then we also installed wipers on the EV6. The 2V did not do that. I wonder how this will react in the market. The opening of this suitcase is quite unique. It's not all open, it has a self-opening gate. Only part is open. It has 490 meters of plate space. And you may think that the entrance is narrow, but if you use it, you will not think that it is so narrow. Basically Because the width of the entrance is wide, I don't think it will be too difficult to store things. The inside is a bit deep, and because of this tire, this upper part is narrowed, but since it is a vehicle that emphasizes the style of the vehicle, the loading space itself seems to have a limit to expand practicality with a very angular shape like a general sedan. This seat has a folding lever on the back, which is very similar to what we've seen in combustion engines of the past. Now let me show you a regular model. The design at the bottom of the front bumper of the general model is in this form. When it comes to the sideline, only the design of the wheel is different. It's not that different from the GT model. And the design on the bottom of the bumper is shaped like this. It feels a bit more concise than the GT model, as expected. There's no difference in shape and form. One thing that I feel a little bit when I look back at it is that the height of this part is quite high. The depth of this part is also deep. So if you load a lot of things, I think it might be a little inconvenient because it gets caught at the bottom when you remove it. Now I'm looking at the indoor space. It shows some unique EVPO down layout. The upper part of the dashboard is made of plastic material, and the lower part is now made of fabric material. Regular hats feel a little warmer and show these things. Stuart Hill also seems to be a little cut up and down. As it shows this shape and shows the sporty nature of the vehicle below, the left plus also has a metal plate floating. The latest Kia infotainment system is applied. There is a vent in the middle. In the case of a vent, it is now a touch button, but it seems that it can be used as comfortably as a water button. And there is now a smartphone wireless charging pad at the bottom to prevent overheating. There is also a house where the wind comes out. There is a Citaya port on the front that can be charged with backwatts, so it seems convenient to charge your laptop. And in the front, we also see the armrest, which can now be used for multiple purposes in a sliding form. Now, if you look at the door trim, you can also see parts that show signs that this financial material was used. And both GT models and regular models have lights on the door. It seems to be a wonderful point of the interior space, and the pattern of this sheet in particular is quite unique. When you touch the sheet, you don't just feel the design, you actually feel the convex texture. The sheets processed in this way convey a rather unique feeling. It seems to be an element that creates a sense of luxury in the interior space. The seat is also made of fabric material at the top and plastic material at the bottom. There is also room for seater's port to store things. The head space actually feels a bit narrow. I'm 170 now, and for me, who is 170, I can't even fit a fist on top right now, so my fist fits perfectly. So if you are about 180 tall, your head will touch. Although it is slightly grooved, I feel that the height may be a bit frustrating for fans. The opening itself is not so broad. It seems that this is more prominent because of this loop line, which emphasizes style. The top is now not a digging loop, but a glass loop that only opens for 1 year is applied. Yes, I have looked at the Kia EV gun so far. In the domestic market, perhaps only the sedan model shown now will be released, but in the European market, there will also be hatchback models. In fact, when I saw the product in the photo, I liked the design of this hatchback a lot more than the sedan model. However, since only sedan models are released in the domestic market, there are also SUV-type models, such as EV3 and EV9, for consumers who want a more personalized design. Options and what? In the case of Korea, the demand for hatchbacks is not so great, probably because it is in that regard. I think that lineup has been somewhat adjusted. The price will probably be set at around 30 million won if all subsidies are taken into account. It seems that 30 million won will be fixed in the second half. This year, we have introduced a lot of electric cars, and in terms of price competitiveness, we are showing a price range that is more convenient to work quickly than in the past. The electric vehicle subsidy itself has not increased significantly, but it seems that accessibility is improving as battery prices and electric vehicle prices themselves are now lower. It seems that these changes will continue in the future. I think it will be a big change as a consumer. Yes, so far, it has been Won Seon Woong of Global Automotive. See you again in the next video. Thank you.